Welcome to The Hidden Truth. If you enjoy our videos, please consider sharing them on social media or other UFO communities. Your support means everything to us. We have an exciting announcement. We'll be doing a monthly giveaway. All you have to do is like and comment on our videos for the chance to win a variety of prizes, including hats, shirts, and more. The more you like and comment, the greater your chances. Oh, and subscribing doesn't hurt either. What are you waiting for? Smash that like button. You can get free stuff. Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon page. Members get early access to videos, ad-free, and you can see content you can't see anywhere else.
The Defense Intelligence Agency Reports on UFOs, Part 2. In 1985, the Defense Intelligence Agency released 139 pages of UFO-related reports. Here is some information related to those released files. In this segment, we will hear about events that took place in Antarctica and Brazil. 1965. Antarctica. A wave of sightings in South America in 1965 was reported to the DIA by U.S. air and naval attaches, and although many of the reports were taken from newspapers, some originated with official sources, such as the following accounts of sightings in Antarctica, which were obtained from the chief of the Argentine Navy Hydrographic Service by the U.S. Naval Attaché in Buenos Aires. The accounts summarize reports by Argentine, Chilean, and British-based personnel at Deception Island, part of the British-owned South Shetland Islands. On June 2, 1965, an unusual object was sighted by a meteorologist and 4 other witnesses at the British Bravo base. The sighting lasted for 15 to 20 minutes. The object moved rapidly and was of a brilliant color, solid appearing, and noiseless. On June 20th, the commander of the Chilean Aguirre base, Juan Barra, together with Chilean Air Force pilot, Lieutenant Benavides, a meteorologist, and 7 other witnesses, observed a UFO, which maneuvered rapidly on an oscillating course for 25 minutes. But the most interesting sightings took place on July 3rd at the Chilean base, as the following official summary shows. On July 4th, at 19:02 hours, the meteorologist and 8 other persons at the Chilean base Aguirre observed during 20 minutes, clear night, 2/8 stratocumulus, and starry sky, moon 4th quarter, an object appearing as a stationary light at times, and of solid appearance like a celestial body, noiseless, white color, with borders like a brilliant star, moving east to west trajectory, with oscillations, disappearing in the clouds, elevation 4-45 degrees over the horizon. On July 3rd, at 19:42 hours, meteorologist and 6 persons from this base observed by naked eye, binoculars, and theodolite for a period of 1 hour and 2 minutes, clear night, 2/8 stratus, 1/8 cirrus, starry sky, moon 4th quarter, an object described as more brilliant than a star of the first magnitude, which was stationary at times, with flashing brilliance, appearing and disappearing, moving above the stratus and below the cirrus at times, of a solid appearance, and noiseless, its center colored red, borders changing from yellow to green to orange to blue to white, and like a brilliant iridescent star, small trajectory variation, size comparable to the head of half-inch nail head, finally disappearing in altitude and distance. Form was round and oval-shaped. Direction observed north by northwest approximately 335 degrees from true north and 30 degrees above the horizon, approximately at a distance of 1 to 1.5 kilometers. Some photography taken of this sighting. 2 variometers working, affected by magnetic field disturbance during the time object sighted. Newspaper articles forwarded to the DIA by the U.S. Air Attaché in Santiago, Chile, contained additional information. The photographs, about 10 in all, were taken by Corporal U.D. Martinez, but proved to be of little value, owing to the distance of the object. The magnetic traces, however, recorded on a magnetovariometer, were considered highly evidential. The Air Attaché, while hypothesizing that a satellite may have been responsible for some of the sightings, nevertheless concluded in his report, some credence must be given to the existence or the occurrence of some type of phenomenon, inasmuch as reports emanated from such widely reported locations as to rule out mass hysteria or collusion. The Commandant of the Chilean Air Force Antarctic Base, Don Mario Juan Berra, commented, "It is rash to say that we all saw a flying saucer, like those in science fiction. But nevertheless, it was something real, an object traveling at a staggering speed that performed evolutions and caused interference in the instruments of the Argentinian base, lying on an island that is near to and right opposite our base. What we observed was no hallucination or collective psychosis. As far as I am concerned, it is a celestial object that I am unable to identify. That it could be an aircraft constructed on this earth, I do not believe possible." The sightings of UFOs on July 3, 1965 were not the first in Antarctica. In 1950, Commander Augusto Vars Ortega of the Chilean Navy reported that UFOs had circled his base. During the bright Antarctic night, he said, "We saw flying saucers, one above the other, turning at tremendous speeds. We have photographs to prove what we saw." The pictures were 1,200 feet of color movie film, but when Major Donald Kaiho attempted to obtain a copy from the Chilean embassy in Washington in 1956, he was informed that the film was classified and could not therefore be made available. In May 1972, officers of the Chilean Air Force and Army had 2 sightings of UFOs, which caused a weakening of radio signals in the 3,200 kilocycle waveband. My take: when you see reports like this, multiple witnesses and locations with unknown physical objects behaving in ways that were impossible in the 1960s, it should make any rational person reassess their UFO beliefs. 1967, Brazil. An interesting Brazilian Air Force report was obtained from official sources by the U.S. SARAT Achey in Rio de Janeiro in March 1967. On March 27, 1967, the crew of a Brazilian Air Force C-47 and the crew of a cruise aeroducil photo mapping aircraft reported having seen a flying saucer in the vicinity of Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul. The object was initially sighted by the BAF crew, who described it as a reddish-colored full moon that appeared to be flying in circles. The BAF C-47 advised Salgado Filho Tower of the sighting, and the tower asked the cruise aeroducil aircraft to intercept and identify the object. The cruise aeroducil aircraft made contact with the object and pursued it for 15 minutes before it finally disappeared. No pictures were taken. In addition to the reported sightings by the aircraft crews, the object was also reportedly seen by ground observers in the Porto Alegre area. A more recent reported sighting occurred on March 30, 1967, in Rio Illegible. However, this one was reported only by ground observers. The object was described as completely white, silent, flying at low altitude, and would disappear and reappear at regular intervals. This particular sighting received very little publicity in the news media. As yet, the Air Ministry has not issued any official comment on these sightings and is presently studying the statements of the aircraft crews and ground observers. Official UFO research in Brazil was conducted at this time by the Brazilian Air Force UFO Study Division, based in Sao Paulo. Although Brazil is one of the few countries in the world where sightings, especially the more sensational ones, are publicized regularly, official censorship has been imposed since the 1960s. In 1969, a Brazilian Air Force directive issued to local officials stated, "You will not under any circumstances give any information on UFO activity to any press, radio, or television reporter or representative. This is a matter of national security, and all press releases will be made by the Brazilian Air Force Public Relations Department." In 1973, Sao Paulo State Directive, entitled Institutional Act No. 5, State Security, warns, "It is forbidden for TV, radio, newspapers, and other news media to divulge UFO reports, without the prior censorship of the Brazilian Air Force. My take: why does Brazil have such a strict policy on the reporting of UFOs? What are they hiding from the public?